you guys hear him call me a bitch?
I'll cut that out. No, the fucking gaslight.
But
So
keep the part where I accuse you of it.
yeah,
But cut
yeah,
out the
yeah.
part where you
They'll never
actually
know.
did it. Yeah, they'll never know.
It's just like I would never gaslight you, bitch. I would never gaslight you.
Oh my god, I'm triggered.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Not On Pod podcast, where I'm having to redo this intro for the 17th time. I am Josh, and this is my co-host
Abby.
And one day we'll nail that. And we're gonna be talking about paranormal. Not today. Today's not that day. We're gonna be talking about Paranormal Activity, the found footage. I wouldn't say the Godfather, but definitely the father of the found footage genre. I would say Blair Witch was like the first main big one, but this definitely carried the torch. And I think there wasn't that many copycats when Blair Witch came out, but when Paranormal Activity came out, everything was found footage for a minute there. Like
Right. Yeah, that was a thing for a while.
I think it's just because like by the late 2000s, everyone had a camera on them, in a way that it wasn't like that in 1999. So it was just everyone was just like, let's bang these things out
for sure. Yeah, exactly.
And there's a reason why it spawned a lot of stuff. It's because it was cheaply made and it was good. It was really good. I had a great time with it. I haven't watched it since like 2011, but it was a great time. I really liked it.
Yeah. I actually meant to check. I kind of want to see really fast what it's rated on Letterboxd. I remember it getting a lot of shit.
I think, but the problem with Letterboxd is that you have a lot of snobs on there.
No, I'm not going to take it as like, oh, this affects my opinion. It's more so to figure out like
what they hated.
If I was correct, and like if I'm correct in like people not really liking it. Okay, it's got a 2.9 on Letterboxd. And oh my god. Oh, interesting. They use their real names. The two main characters. Yeah, we have the top review is 1 star. This is what happens when you sleep with the door open.
That pissed me off the whole time. That fucking door was like, I get why they did it. You know what I mean? I understand it, but it's just like fucking as from a human being aspect. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
And I know some people do that, but they're psychos.
Yeah. So I really liked it too. I do remember hearing like a lot of crap talk about Paranormal Activity in general as a series, which we talked about this earlier. I have definitely seen, like prior to this point, 1 and 4. And I'm pretty sure I may have seen 2 and 3 at some point, but I remember nothing about them if I did. And I really don't remember much about 4.
I like 2 a lot too, but I think 3 is like genuinely like I think if we do end up doing them, I think you will notice a step up from them.
Yeah.
And I actually do hear the 5th one, the marked ones, has its fans.
Okay.
So people do.
No,
like
Josh and I are both kind of like, do we want to watch the entire Paranormal Activity series?
We could do like a little like thing where we just do like Paranormal Activity for like the next 3 months.
We could. It's an option. We have free will.
Yeah, we have free will.
It's our podcast.
No one's fucking holding a gun against our heads. No one's forcing us to use the Ouija board to talk to these ghosts.
No, but we want to.
Yeah,
we want to. But yeah, no, I really like it. Especially for like the budget that it has and like the resources that they had and like the time that it was made. I feel like they did really well with what they had.
Mm-hmm.
And genuinely, like I think the acting was like pretty good. Like, you know, Mika was whatever, but like Katie, I feel Mika was whatever, but Katie was really and especially like we are talking about it a lot, so you know, we'll get there, but like she has a
Mm-hmm.
scream she does towards the end that we were like, that was like
Honestly,
scream
I
queen status. Like that was
genuinely
good.
like. We were talking about sound design. For me and Abigail have been making a fake movie for the entirety of us watching that movie together.
Yeah.
But like sound design in this movie, I think is what helps it elevate to like it being as good as it is, because like even like us, we gab
Because you
during the
don't see
movie,
much.
but like when that stuff happens, you feel it, and it's like, you know, there's a couple times where I was getting goosebumps just from the sounds that you hear in the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
No, sounds are so powerful. Like, and especially in a movie like this where they really didn't have much to show like
Mm-hmm.
physically, which I think was smart, especially with like having a smaller budget.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't try to do more visually. But a lot of it is just like the sounds and like them getting really worked up and stuff like that, and you know, you just kind of follow suit. But I I messed with it, like Josh was saying, we were creating like a fake movie the whole time because we were, I think, genuinely feeling inspired. And bring back found footage, honestly. Like I know we took a break, I think it was necessary, but bring back found footage.
I do think it still exists, but it's very few
I
and far
mean, like,
between than what it
yeah.
was. You know what I mean? Like for I would say from like 2007 to 2013, every other horror movie was found footage. But now it's like you have a couple every now and then. Like I would say the most current series is Creep. Have you ever seen the Creep movies?
I think I've seen one of them. Let me double check.
They're really good. They have a show now that I've heard is very good too. But Creep 1 and Creep 2,
Is it like,
it's found footage.
yeah, is it, oh no, this is not the one I'm
It's got
thinking. There's this
have you seen
one
a wolf
movie.
mask? Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good. It's really good. We
Yeah.
should fuck it. We should do some found footage movies, bro.
I was gonna say that. I'm
We
like,
should do
why don't
it.
we just like,
I
because
fucking love these
there's
movies.
another found footage movie. I forget what it's called, but I remember they like went to this house and there was like this older woman that they were like interviewing or something, and she gets really irritable and they end up like finding her in a cave, like all
What?
like, yeah, no, it was like creepy. I need to look up,
Yeah, look that
remind me to
up.
look that up after the
Yeah.
pod because that would be a really fun one to do. And I honestly forgot it existed until we started watching this. Um, but no, we were vibing, man. I really like Paranormal Activity.
It's good, the fact that I mean, maybe it does come from the fact that like we've been missing that genre for a little bit here,
Yeah,
but they're good. I know a lot of there's a subsect of horror fans that hate them, which I
yeah.
don't understand, because to me it
I don't
harkens
either.
back to like the origins of horror, where it's like, because horror I think has always been one of the cheaper genres to make, because you don't need big name talent and you don't need a lot of money to make effective scares.
Right.
Like, you know, Halloween, even though you don't like that movie, which is crazy. But
Wait, my
like
camera's
it
fucked
was
again. Sorry. Okay,
it
go
was
on.
like a low budget horror, came out, made a bunch of movies, and like made a bunch of money, and then ended up like spawning a franchise and reinventing horror, you know. And I think like found footage is just kind of like the, not the essence, but like the distilled version of that spirit. You know what I mean? Because like all these are low budget, and I'm not saying there's not
Yeah,
bad ones, but found
for
footage is
sure.
dope.
But I no, I love a found footage because it's like it creates the spookiness like for itself. A. But it's like for me, it just feel if it's done well, it feels so natural and like real life, which to me feels so much scarier than like something being filmed like in really high quality and like, they don't know the camera's there and whatever. But like something about they know that the camera is there. They're the ones filming it. And it's already got this like kind of grainy quality, like the sound isn't the best. And a lot of it is just like these like a lot of the scariness of Paranormal Activity is just anticipation. And I think like, it's a lot of horror.
It's just
But
tension
like
is building
it's
throughout the whole
tension.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And honestly, there's something about like the fact that they have a lot of moments where they're just filming them like talking about stuff or doing stuff that has nothing to do with it being scary. Like you really, get to know the characters and either connect or hate them,
Yeah.
which
It
we'll get into.
humanizes them though. Where you're like,
It
this is a
humanizes
person.
them.
Like,
Right. And
yeah.
here's their life. And this is like, and I don't know, it's just there's something about it that's very, very nice. But I felt like the Paranormal Activity, like I can't speak for all found footage, but like especially this first one, just really like they felt like a couple. Like they felt like we said this at the beginning, like they just felt like a normal couple and it looks like a normal house. And like it just felt very natural. And to me, like something that just feels very like organic, like it's gonna be a lot scarier for me
Hmm.
personally to see something like that.
My
You okay
dog's
there, pal?
having a dream. So I just want to say if like you hear like a dog whining in the background, it's because
Okay.
he's just like doing the little like legs moving and
Aww.
eyes twitching thing.
Poor
um,
baby.
but yeah, it's like yeah, I think that's yeah. I mean, I guess we don't have to talk about the whole genre if we're planning on doing some fucking like
Yeah,
found footage
no,
thing.
but
But it's
but
I
it
think
is
that's we're both on the same wavelength where it's like these are good and they're like worth talking about still to this day,
for
even though
sure.
like it seems like we've moved away from that as a genre. But yeah,
For
it's
sure.
good.
Except maybe in a couple years you'll see Josh and I's movie
And
out
we'll
there
bring
and
it
you're
back.
welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll
When
bring
our
it back.
executive dysfunction turns into function, we'll
Yo,
start
dude, we're gonna do
spinning these out.
big things
We're
when we
gonna do,
start
dude.
functioning.
We got a lot of
When we start
ideas.
functioning,
Yeah.
it's over for you bitches. But until then,
the video game that we were talking about making, the books I've been trying to write.
no, we'll get there. Hey, we're
uh,
podcasting.
we did actually start this, but I think it's because this is probably the easiest thing we can do. Because the one thing that we can both do is just
That's a
yap.
step though.
So
Yeah. But it's like at least we're doing something with what we with our bandwidth,
yeah, right now we're
Um
recording our ideas into a
yeah.
microphone, even though we haven't put
Yeah,
anything down
exactly.
on paper.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
get
probably talk about this after. We'll probably make the whole movie after this, you know.
yeah. In between this and the next episode, we'll have created an entire movie. We'll have
Yeah,
done
you're
that.
welcome.
Yeah.
Also. Anyway, so let's get into the meat of the actual movie, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're following Mika and Katie. They are what you see for the vast majority of the movie. Like we get a couple of characters.
What I will
Hmm?
say, thank God this movie is only about two characters because we actually know their names. We've been struggling with that with some of
Right?
these last
Yeah, we
podcasts.
have
Like
been.
during Evil Dead, we were like, "What is that architect chick's name?"
Yeah, no, and with Train to Busan, like both like that. We're like,
Oh
I
yeah, we
don't
were
know.
like,
There's
"Am I
so many
racist?"
people.
Yeah, am I racist?
Well, for Josh, the answer is yes.
Yeah, that's true.
For
That's
me,
true.
less so. Um, anyway, but yeah, no, we've had like a lot of casts lately, so we're like, well, honestly, Evil Dead wasn't even that big of a cast, but they just didn't like talk about their names very
Yeah,
much.
and
Like
I
they were,
only
it
know
was,
Ash
it was
because
just a
I've
lot of
seen
like,
all the movies in like like it's
yeah, it
easier.
was just
Yeah,
Ash like losing its mind the whole time.
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, we pretty much just follow Mika and Katie. Though we do get like, we get a psychic who's like specializes in ghosts or something at some point. We get their friend a couple times, or more so Katie's friend, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's more so following them. It seems like they have recently moved in together. They've been together for 3 years, according to Mika. They're engaged to be
Hold on, I might have
engaged.
to wake him up. He's like really going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. You alright, boy? You okay? You okay, Bubba? You good? Thanks, Joe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
He was like getting louder. I was like, all right, man. We can't. Like, he was having a crazy dream.
He was struggling.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
free Dex, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll be fine.
Being in Josh's room, he's just really struggling right now.
Yeah. Well, he chose to come in here. But
Anyway,
anyway, what were we talking
but
about?
yeah,
Cast
um,
names.
well, Katie and me-cuh, we were saying that they have recently moved in together. It seems they've been
Yeah.
together for about 3 years. They've got pretty established relationship. What's up?
One quick thing. I think the main reason why we remember their names too is they constantly say each other's names, which I think
That's
most fucking movies should do. Because sometimes you
yeah,
just say each other's names, and you should
yeah.
just say that,
No, they do. They do.
So
They do. They see each other's name a lot, especially her. She's like me-cuh.
yeah, Mika, you
Um,
fucking piece of shit! Stop using the Ouija board.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
Is it
spoiler.
Ouija or is
Um,
it Ouija?
it's Ouija, but
Ouija.
it's like I think, but it's like spelled Ouija, obviously. But I've
Yeah,
never heard anyone say it Ouija. I've always heard
yeah,
Ouija.
Ouija.
But anyway,
Sorry,
if my
sorry,
co-host would stop interrupting me. um, so yeah, they seem to be like fairly happy. Um, but when we first start to see Katie and me-cuh, it's because me-cuh has gotten a camera because this incident that has been popping up every so often since Katie was 8 years old is now back, which is basically there's a ghost who is kind of just hanging around, which you later find out is actually a demon. But anyway, so me-cuh's basically like, whoa, sick, a ghost. I would like to film this because that's cool and epic.
And I
And
have a
Katie is like
very large
super
penis.
not, yeah. Josh has this whole bit going for me-cuh the entire time because he's such like so egotistical and so like full of himself and so like up his own ass that like he was just like competing with the ghost the entire movie about like
The
comparing
size of
like
his
their
penis
penis.
and yeah, like he's
Which
just
like
like
all came about because whenever you see like the burned mark on the Ouija board that we'll get into later, it kind of
kind of
looks
looks like
like
a
it.
dick. They're kind of like there's a dick in the corner.
Yeah. He's like, Katie, can you help me like look at what's on this Ouija board? And Josh's like, yeah, so we can compare. Is this
Yeah,
penis bigger
it's
than
not
mine?
bigger than mine, right? Like it's kind of flat, so it doesn't get the girth.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if you hear that brought up a lot, it's
Yeah,
because Josh brought
it's an
that up a
inside joke,
lot.
which is totally fine to do on a podcast you weren't privy to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, y'all are gonna have a great time with that. Anyway, so yeah, me-cuh is like super into the idea of recording it. Katie less so. This is something like she's dealt with her entire life and is like very real and scary to her. And it seems to
Mhm.
be escalating. Um, personally, I think me-cuh has a lot to do with that. But that's neither here nor there. Do
Mhm.
you want to speak now? I feel like I've been speaking for a really long time.
I mean, like, yeah, it just I think that's really what a lot of the movie is for, like, I would say at least the first half hour, where like we're getting very like he's annoying her with the camera, constantly trying to have a sex tape with her. He does this like 4 or 5 times. But like we're getting some stuff. It definitely starts off very gradually, where it's just like
Yeah.
there's a sound in the basement or in like downstairs, and then it becomes like a bang. I would say the biggest thing that we get, like the first like big event we have, is they're sleeping and you hear what sounds almost like a screeching noise, almost like something's
Yeah.
being dragged or something screaming, and then you hear a loud bang.
A loud bang.
And that's when
By the way, very good sounds. Because
very
like
good sound.
I am very particular, and I'll get more into this later because there is like something at the end that like bugs me a little. But like in terms of like the demon slash ghost genre, I am very, very particular about like certain effects being used or
Mm-hmm.
noises being used or whatever. Like I think it can get corny really, really fast. And I think the majority of movies that include like some sort of haunting of sorts do the corny effects. And I think Paranormal Activity did a fairly good job for the most part
I, I,
at
I,
not.
I think a lot of it is like, and I don't mean to cut you off. I think it's, but like I'm agreeing with you. Is because they had such a low budget, they didn't even bother with doing any individual stuff. They're like, what we can easily do is sounds. We can do that
Right.
after, we can do that whenever we want to do. And
But
like,
even the sounds, like they can get real corny, like the voices, like with like a
yeah, which happens towards the end there.
yeah,
Yeah,
or just like a yelling sound from a ghost or something. Like it can get real corny, and I'm
yeah,
not a fan of it the majority of the time. So props to Paranormal Activity because I do feel like for the most part they did a really good job at creating sounds that felt like a little bit supernatural, but not like corny. Didn't sound like auto-tuney. It like it just felt very like scary, but like naturally occurring. So yeah, that was a really good sound, I thought.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say like 95% of the sounds throughout the movie are of that quality. I like I I think it's that one instance that we might both be talking about. That was a little on the corny side, but everything else
Yeah.
was good. But yeah,
Pretty solid. Yeah.
so like we like get to that point, and then eventually, I believe it's Katie who's like, let's just get somebody in here to talk
Oh
to
yes, definitely
us.
Katie. He had zero
Yeah,
interest in doing that.
yeah, he
He
did it
he
like.
made it very clear he was not a fan of that and he made fun.
It's so weird though, because like he is so into doing it all himself, but the moment you get somebody else in, that's when he starts getting like defensive. He's like, "We don't need anyone
Yeah.
else. My dick's big enough. Why are we bringing
Yeah.
this guy in? This ghost therapist or whatever the fuck he is definitely
Yeah.
doesn't have a bigger penis than me. He doesn't."
Yeah, well, he's like supposed to be like a psychic, like a which I don't really know what a psychic and like being like specializing in ghosts really
And he
have to do
doesn't
with each
really
other.
talk to the
But
ghost ever. Like he kind of just
well,
comes
because
in
to be
here and he
fair, he does
vibes.
say he vibes, but he also does say, okay, so like he comes in, which Mika is like making fun of it the whole time. Katie's just like begging him to behave himself in front of him. Which also I don't remember this guy's name. I don't think it really matters.
It don't matter.
But no, he comes in and he's basically like, hey man, I feel a vibe. Like you guys have definitely got something going on here. But here's what I'll tell you.
All
It's,
he does the whole movie is he comes in, he's like, vibes are off.
yeah,
Vibes.
vibes are off. But he's like, what I will say, however, is that it's not a ghost. It's a demon, and I don't do that. So he like goes up into their bedroom and he's like, yeah, most of it happens in here, huh? And she's like, yep. And he's like, yep, that's what I thought. Unfortunately, though, I can't do a goddamn thing for you. So I'm gonna
Here's a
give you a card.
number.
Yeah, here's a phone number for another guy that you can call. He's a demonologist, which
who just won't pick up. He just
well, to be fair, that's later. Katie does she wants to call him like really early on, like the next day, because
yeah.
that's also what the
How
guy
long does
recommended.
this
He was
take
he was like,
place? Do we know? Like,
I don't think so. It seems
it,
like it's short though.
it
It
seems like
seems like
about a week.
maybe
You know,
yeah,
I seems like it
maybe like a
escalates
week or
real
two.
fast. Yeah.
It does, yeah. Like because Mika is aggravating it. He is literally the problem, but we'll get
Mm-hmm.
there. But yeah, the ghost guy does say though, he's like, but there's definitely an issue and you should call tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Mika makes some joke about a Ouija board. Or not even a joke, but he's like, don't worry, I'll talk to it, like whatever, with my Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor guy is like, hey, so that's what the fuck we're not gonna do? Don't do not get a Ouija. Do
Matter of
not
fact, everyone
interact
in
with
this
it.
movie says don't do that.
Yes, yes, but like the doctor is like the first one that's like, oh my god, why is my camera like this
It's good.
today?
It's good. It's
Okay.
good.
Um, hello. But the doctor is the first one that's like, hey Mika, that's not funny. Don't do that. And then he's like, okay. And then Katie wants to call I think his name was like Johan. I for some reason remember this guy's more. It was this guy's name more. I think it was Johan Avery or something like that. But
I
she's like,
don't.
I'm gonna call Dr. Avery's tomorrow, like he said. And then Mika's like, babe, I've got this covered. I've got some
I'll
baby
leave
powder.
it.
Okay. I've got my camera. All right. And I'm gonna handle this for us. And then Katie is so patient with him. And she's like, okay, like I'll let you, do your thing for a little bit. But if it gets worse, then I'm calling the demon doctor. And then Mika is all like, okay. And then what? Then what do they do? What does he do? What's his next like step to
I
escalate
think
the
what we
situation?
kind of get is that he starts to get aggressive with the ghost, where he
Yeah, he's
starts to
like
like
starting to like
talk
taunt it
shit.
kind of.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
continues to film, um, where like basically like he says like
Which, by the
I
way,
won't.
Katie frequently asks him not to do because he'll especially bring it out during moments where they're having like a deep conversation or she's really upset. And then he'll just be like, camera with like the bright light in her face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like she's like literally like crying, and then he's just like, my dick's really big, right? It's
He's like literally though, there's a scene where he starts the camera and puts it on the nightstand and she's like in the fetal position sobbing. Like fully.
I think
And
it gets
this
it
is
happens
after she's
later in
so
the movie
done with
too,
this
where she's like
it
on the
does.
floor and he's still
Yeah.
recording that.
He's still recording her. And it's like she's like, let him record too, despite the fact that she has like made it clear that she doesn't think it's helping and that like it makes her uncomfortable.
I think
But then like she has the smallest little boundaries and like
which
he just cannot handle it.
I think they do come to like an agreement where he, as long as he doesn't do the Ouija board, he can film. I think
Yes.
they do like they kind of be like, all right, just so you have your thing that you can
Yeah,
do,
there's your thing, but no Ouija board.
but no Ouija board. And then
Right.
he proceeds to be like, all right, and then starts walking around the halls being like, you a pussy ass ghost. And
Yeah.
it's just like, and then from there, like things are escalating
Well, okay, so
where,
what happens too, I just remembered the first night that we hear that like screech and the really loud bang, after Katie freaks the fuck out, and after they're kind of settled, Mika goes into the hallway and is like, is that all you got? And Katie's like, what the fuck is wrong with
and
you?
like he like
Stop
continues to
taunting it.
do that though. He doesn't stop after that. He will like just walk through the house being like, you kind of a bitch. You kind
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so weird. He literally like the way he like goes about it and the way he talks about the demon is like it's some guy like that has been trying to like come on to his girlfriend or
Yeah,
something.
it's like like a work husband that he's worried about. You know what I mean? Where he's just
Yeah.
like you keep going to lunch
Meanwhile,
with
it's a
him.
fucking demon.
Like,
Yeah, and he's like, look, this demon has been with you since you were 8, and you have history. I
yeah,
can't compete with that.
yeah. Like you guys like were each other's first kiss, and then I like even though we've kissed like a million times since then, it still worries me.
Yeah. No, dude, it's literally he's like such a and Mika like he's not that bad. Like he's annoying and he's like and like but he really just throughout the movie just slowly but surely gets worse and worse and worse to the point where like you hate that man at the end.
Yeah, like when I first watched it, I was 16. Oh no, I was younger than that when I first watched it. But when I last watched it, I was 16. I think I was probably like 13. I watched it the year it came out on DVD. But like when I like it's been so long since I watched it, I didn't remember him being that bad. I just kind of like remember the feeling of like they were both kind of losing it as things happen. But watching it now, it's very clear that man sucks. Like, like,
He
like,
sucks.
like he goes beyond just being like toxically masculine, where he feels like he can fight this ghost, to like actively making the problem worse at every step that he can.
And
Like,
actually, like when Katie has gotten to a point where she is like at her breaking point and she is terrified, he is still like arguing with her and pushing her boundaries and just being like a total dick.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that's just it just kind of slowly escalates like that, and he continues to film and he continues to do stupid stuff like, put powder on the floors or whatever. And he continues to like he'll analyze the footage each night and like, ramp up the audio and see if he can hear something, which he does a couple of times. And pretty much every time he brings something up like this, by the way, Katie is like, that is freaky and I would like to call someone about it. And he's like, no,
nah,
come on.
nah.
I got it figured
I
out.
don't need another man in my house. There's only I don't.
Yeah.
Should have been only one penis in the same room as my woman at any time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So there's that. And then it starts to slowly escalate. And it seems like pretty much every time something kind of major happens, it is during the witching hour. And so we've
which is
got like the
what, like
little
1 o'clock in the morning, right? It was like it's like one
three,
thirty.
three, three.
Yeah, but a lot happens at
That's
one
why
thirty
that's
too.
why no, but like usually like the major last thing of the night is all during the
Like
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. I didn't
And
notice that.
they did have a moment too where they did like the witching hour is supposed to be like 3 because the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. And the like if you bang 3 times, that's supposed to be like the demon like disrespecting the Father, the Son, the Holy
Oh.
Spirit. So there is one night where you hear like at during like the witching
See,
hour.
wasn't raised religious, so I don't know none of this shit.
Well, they do a lot of it in The Conjuring. Like
Okay.
you'll notice it now that you'll notice it in like most ghost movies. Like they do a lot at
Of
like
that
during the
type of
three
stuff.
o'clock hour, and they'll
I
do a
just
lot of
figured
the
it's
in
because it was like
three.
middle of the night. I didn't know it was a witching hour thing. Like,
No, it's like specifically, yeah. So yeah, so it's it gradually escalates where it's like they'll like maybe like the sheet will be kind of like lifted off of their bodies a little bit, and then like there's a night where Katie gets up and she's just staring at me-cuh for hours at a time. And I think she started staring at him at around like 12 or 1, but it ended at like 3:30, like or something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, she's like staring at him and stuff, and they're both getting pretty freaked out about it. But there's this one night in particular that I think really is like when they both started to get really freaked out, which is when Katie gets out of bed, she stares at me-cuh for a while, and then she goes outside. And me-cuh wakes up in the middle of the night
Was
and
this
he
post Ouija board or pre?
it's a good question. I think this
Pause.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy that
Um
she becomes possessed and he's like, Ouija.
I don't think she's possessed yet. I think it's like gaining control over her. I think her official possession is when she gets bitten. Cuz she starts acting drastically different
Fuck.
after the bite.
I think the
So
bite
so what I
happens
think
after the Ouija though.
it does. Yes.
Yeah, well I'm saying like but what I'm saying is like she has already been mentally controlled by this being.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like her literally like she was gone. Like when she was possessed, like there gets to a point where like she's not in there anymore. But
Yeah.
at like this point in time, it's still
Yeah,
Katie.
she
She's
came
just being
back.
like controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they get really freaked out because after I think this is the night she stares at him, and then she ends up going
Outside.
downstairs.
Yeah.
And then me-cuh wakes up in the middle of the night. He can't find her anywhere. And so he eventually does go to look outside, and she's just like sitting in this chair staring off into space. And she's like she'll get in moods like this like occasionally throughout the movie where like she's clearly like not all there.
Mm-hmm.
um and he finds her like that where she's just not really like she can't really be reasoned with, and she's just in like a really weird place. So she's sitting in the chair and he's trying to get her to come in and she's like refusing. She says she doesn't want to come in. And then he goes inside and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get you a blanket and I'm going to come back. And she's also said, he's like, well, I'm going to stay with you. And she's like, no, I don't want you
Yeah.
to. And then he's like, no, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to go get some blankets. And then what happens? Because I know he goes
So
in
he
to
goes
get the
looks at
blanket.
he looks at the couch to get the blanket that's on the couch, and then he hears a big bang come from their bedroom. He goes up to investigate that. Doesn't see anything. Well,
Oh,
the
yeah.
TV is on. The TV
The
is on
TV's
in there,
on.
and it's
It
just
was a
got
loud bang.
yeah, it was loud, and there's a static on the TV. And he's looking around. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he turns around. She's like right behind him.
Yeah.
But she has like come to,
She's come to,
and
yeah.
she's
And
like, "What the
she's
fuck are
acting
you
like
doing? I'm going to
he's
bed."
being weird. Yeah. She's like, what are you doing? And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? What are you doing? 2 seconds ago you were
Like,
outside and you said you would not be coming in. And she's like, me-cuh, what are you talking
This
about?
is probably the most valid reaction he's had in the movie, where he's just like, "Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean go to bed? What the
Yeah.
fuck? What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And like at the time, she's like not acting like, still a little bit like out of it, like a little bit, transitioning back to feeling normal. And so I think like at the time it's not that big of a deal, but then the next morning when he's telling her about everything, she's like, whoa, that really freaks me
well, he
out.
shows her a video of her getting up and stuff, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then what happens after when is the Ouija board thing? So like what happens between now and the Ouija board incident? Because I honestly don't
I
quite
don't think
remember
there
like
is
what
anything.
major
I think
scary
it
things
kind of.
happen.
I think he probably shows her videos of that, and then he gets the Ouija board. And she like, remember, he's like looking at the Ouija board, and then she's like coming down the stairs from like
Yeah, I
outside the
think they're
frame.
supposed to like go on a date or something is what it seems like because they're all like ready to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he's got his Ouija board and he's looking at her all like proud of himself.
He's like,
Like
"Look at
she's
this.
for
This thing I told
for
you I
some
wasn't gonna
reason.
get."
Yeah, yeah. Because she had like there was a moment too where Katie's friend was over and they're talking. Oh, I think that he is trying to show them one of the videos of like what happens at nighttime, or was he showing them like an audio or something? Because he mentions like when he's showing them that he mentions like when he's like showing them a video or an audio clip or something. I honestly don't remember, but when he's doing that, he basically mentions something about and when I'll learn more when I talk to it with the Ouija board or whatever.
Yeah.
And you not only have again like the moment with like the ghost guy who says don't do it and Katie who says don't do it. I'm pretty sure that's at that same time, but he now has her on video saying again, me-cuh, like I've let you do a lot of stuff, like you can have your camera thing, but don't you dare like get a Ouija board. Don't you dare bring that into this house. Don't you dare use a Ouija board. And he's like, okay, I won't buy a Ouija board.
Well, no,
And then later,
he goes like, "I won't buy one."
yeah, it's like I won't buy one. And then later, yeah, she's coming downstairs for their date night or whatever, and he's got and then she's like, what the fuck is that? And she gets mad. Like she has been so patient with him this whole movie, like even when he is like
Yeah.
pushing her boundaries
But
over and over and over again.
this is definitely a very valid anger, because it's like, this is the
Yes,
one thing that she has asked.
yes,
Don't do
yes,
this one thing, and he's done it.
yes.
You know, like,
And he's done it. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And then he is like, I said that I wasn't gonna buy a Ouija board. And she's like, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind on you. She's like, you do not touch that thing. And she's like, we're done with the cameras, la 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 la, do whatever they're gonna do. And he keeps the camera like rolling on the Ouija board for whatever reason. And we end up seeing the planchette like spell something out and we're not sure what it says, and then the board catches on fire. And And then he gets back, and of course he's like, oh my god, babe, something happened with the Ouija board.
Fuck, dude, look at this. Like, this is
It's
crazy,
epic.
dude.
Let me help me figure out what this says, Katie.
Also,
And
this dick
Katie's
that's on the board, way smaller than mine.
way smaller than mine. And Katie's looking at him like at this point, she's got like, she is mad. She's like yelling at him at the bush. She's like, I don't give a fuck about your stupid toy, me-cuh.
The best she's looked in the whole movie, and she's mad at him. Like, it's crazy. That's
okay. You don't need to expose your issues.
Hey, listen. He
felt
it
too.
Effectively
trauma dumping. This is effectively trauma dumping. People don't need to know this about you.
Sorry. Continue.
Oh my god. Anyway, Josh has issues. Any low self-esteem woman that would like to
low self-esteem? What?
Yeah, because you're gonna need to find someone that can like.
I think it's just a woman with anger issues.
Participate in your issue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can find you that.
They don't have to have low self-esteem.
That shouldn't be hard to find this day and age. Oh my god. Anyway, so he's like trying to show her what's on the Ouija board, and she's like, I don't give a fuck what's on your Ouija board. Like, I could not give less of a fuck. And then he's like, God, what the fuck? It's like, she's acting like she told me not to do this or something. And then the next day, he's like, she wakes up and he's been like, he's still fucking with the Ouija board. Yeah, and he's like gone through like this list of like names that it could be, like whatever it could have spelled out. They end up figuring out, he kind of narrows it down to a few different names, one of them being Diane. And I don't think he does it right then, but a little later in the movie, looks up the name, and I don't know how he got there with just the first name Diane.
I think he was looking up people with like that experience something similar, and then he found an article that has the
Diane.
name.
Yeah, and it's
like, it said like goodbye Diane or something like that, right? It was like
she died.
No, but what it said something.
Oh,
Diane.
I don't know. You're probably right.
But it's like, it's weird that he would write, like the demon would write goodbye Diane on here. I don't know.
Oh, the demon wrote it, you're saying?
Yeah, it's on the Ouija board. That's where he came
up. Put goodbye?
Let me hold him.
Oh no, it was Diane and then goodbye. Like how it'll say, like when you're, you know how on the board
leave.
It says yes.
Gotcha.
It was Diane. Sorry, I thought you meant like the article had said like goodbye Diane or something like that.
No. Continue though while I look this up.
Okay. But yeah, he finds this article and it's talking about this woman named Diane who has experienced like basically the exact same situation that Katie did, where there was a fire when she was 8 years old and it burned their whole house down. And I think that this is another example of how shitty me-cuh is, because he shows her this article and these photos of this woman who, like, photos of her like full possessed and like clearly like in a really bad state. And he shows this to Katie and he's like, hey, look, this is you. So just another example of me-cuh kind of sucking. And then trying to figure out when the attic thing happens.
Well, he found the photo.
Yeah, but I was trying to figure out like when that happened in the line. So I'm pretty sure it's after that.
I think that happens right after this.
I think so too, because Katie's like trying to call the demonologist again.
No. Well, yeah, she tries to call him. He's not answering, and then he does the powder thing, and then they see the footsteps.
Did he not answer? I don't think she ever was allowed to call him. I think me-cuh was like, no.
She tries to call him, and he doesn't pick up. Remember?
Are you sure?
Yeah, like around like the second to last night, she calls him, and he doesn't pick up.
Oh, I thought you meant like prior to. I think that happened. No, because that happens after, because he is like, she wants to call him and then he's like, let me try one more thing, and that's when
I
he does his powder.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She calls him after this whole like
Yes,
attic thing.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Once she finds the fucking photo, she's just like, we got to, like, we
I'm
need to
done. Yeah.
call. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is like one of Me-cuh's last things that he wants to, which I'm like, what was he hoping to accomplish really by doing this? But he places like baby powder or some shit like all down their hallway and like in front of their door and stuff like that. And they do wake up to, I'm pretty sure the door slams, right? Is that what wakes them up?
Well,
Or was that
we
a
hear
different night?
footsteps,
Yes. But are they,
and
but like what wakes them up?
I think the door does slam,
I think
and
unless I'm mixing it with another night, I'm pretty sure the slams and then they wake up and Katie immediately
it
sees the
might be a different
footsteps.
night because that might have been the one with the door slam. Might have been the one where we see the light go on, and then footsteps up the stairs, and then the light goes off, and then the door slams. I think that might have been a
Oh,
different
maybe.
night. So I don't
Okay.
remember. I don't know if they
Well,
just hear footsteps then. It's possible they just hear footsteps.
maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Well, regardless of the fact they wake up, Katie sees the footsteps and then Me-cuh so helpfully points out, "Hey, they were coming in the room and then they don't leave." And Katie's like, "Awesome." So they go and they look and he's wanting to investigate and Katie is definitely not. She's like, "Let's just go back to bed." Speaking of footsteps, sorry. Um she's like, "I just want to go back to bed," but then he makes them go investigate and it's like the footprints are like this weird like giant bird claw looking feet.
The thing is, they're not even that big, really. At least, like,
No,
it
but like
almost,
bigger than like a little bird. Like they look
yeah,
like
it's
big birds.
like almost an ostrich foot. Like,
Yeah, something like that. So, ow. Um, so yeah, there's like weird little bird feet, and then it ends up leading to this closet that has like an opening to the attic, and
mhm.
there's like a little piece of the ceiling that's like been lifted up and like
I
it's
don't
a
think that's
jar.
called an attic because it's not like a
Is
full
it not?
attic. Like, I think it's called like an eave or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Well, no, I'm I probably shouldn't have interrupted the podcast with my inside thoughts, but I'm like, I think it's called something else when it's just like that small
It's
crawl
like
space up there.
actually, that's not an
Actually,
attic.
architecturally, it's a different name.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. People write in the comments, what the fuck is that shit called?
Oh my
Um,
god.
but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, yeah. So like he sees that fucking gap in the thing, which is conveniently it's lifted up and then just shifted to the side, so it's conveniently it's like, hey, I went in there.
Right.
Something
Yeah,
in
no,
there.
it's clearly like the demon is like purposely trying to get them to go investigate. And Me-cuh is like, I'm gonna well, no, Katie's like, you are not going in there. And he's like, I'm
I'm
not.
going in
I'm
there.
just gonna I'm just gonna look in there. Okay. And she's like, no. And he's like, yeah. And so he does, he like goes and he pokes in there and he looks around and then he ends up seeing like several feet away what looks to be a photo. So of course he goes in there, which she is like begged him not to do.
But I will say, I think this scene might be the only one in the movie where I think we might have seen an unintentional blooper. Because we
Yeah,
just
maybe.
see a flashlight sitting in the attic, but far too far away for him to have put it there. Um, but they never call attention to it, and it's
Yeah,
conveniently
I don't know what that was
placed.
about.
Unless they're saying the ghost did that.
I don't know, but then why wouldn't they have brought that up?
Yeah, they're like, "What is this? Why is this flashlight pointing over there?" And then
Yeah,
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 but
I don't know.
I don't
It was
know.
weird.
I wonder. I should
Because
look that
I
up and
thought
see if
that's
that was
what they were
intentional or not.
calling attention to, but no, like it was because I thought that was way more noticeable than the photo.
Yeah, there's
But
a
what he was
flashlight
talking
turned
about was
on,
the
which
photo.
in itself is spooky when it's like it's a dark fucking attic and all you see is this flashlight pointing at something. You're like, what the fuck, you know? But
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. But despite Katie's wishes, he does go into the attic and retrieve the photo. And to her horror, it is a photo of her when she is probably about 8. And it is like seared on the edges, like it's clearly like partially caught fire in the past. And basically this photo should not exist because all of Katie's stuff burned down when she was 8 years old. And also, even if it did exist, what is it doing in this house she has just moved into as an adult? And what is it doing in the attic? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty freaky for her. And at this point, she's like, we're going to call Dr. Avery's. Like, I don't give a fuck. And then he is still giving her shit about it. He is still like, babe, we can handle this. If the demon comes back, I will fist fight him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we've got it.
Like,
We
he's
don't
got
need
such a
anyone else
smaller dick than me,
involved.
babe. Like,
Yeah. And then
little itty bitty dick.
Katie's like, I cannot do this. Like, I don't give a fuck. I've given you so much time. I've given you so much shit. I've let you put the fucking powder. I've let you do all this stuff. I'm calling the doctor. So she does. And then he's on vacation or something. So he doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
So then she calls back the original, like, psychic ghost guy. And she's like, hey, man, I know that this isn't your speed, but like, we need you to be here. And so he shows up the next day, I'm pretty sure, right? He's able to get there.
Yeah. Because I think something else happens at night. That might have been the one where it, like, walks up the stairs and slams the door. Something
So
like
they had
that.
they every night something happens, like it gets gradually like worse.
It's like it's like we are getting like something pretty bad shit is happening every night.
Correct.
Yeah, so something bad shit's happening every night. And then like we've had the doors slamming. I don't know if we get him sucking on our toes at all during this.
I'm pretty sure that's either the night before or that's the night before the big night, like the last night.
So it's after this guy comes is when we get the toes. Okay.
Yeah, so the ghost guy comes back. This guy steps 1 foot into the house and he's like, hey, so it's gotten way worse. And in fact, I'm really pissing it off right now being in here. Therefore, I gotta go. Like
this
right
man
now.
literally makes it 3 feet into the house and he's just like,
not even. They
I
haven't
have
even
lunch
closed the
plans
door
that
yet.
I have to get to. I'm
Yeah,
fucking
he's
it
like,
up by being
I
here.
am outie.
I'm gonna get out of here. Good luck.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Katie's like, no, the fuck you're not leaving. Like, you're gonna stay right here and you're gonna help us. And he's like, no, because the thing is, I'm making him mad right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna call Dr. Avery's and like he gets back in like 4 days. Like it'll be fine. And I'm gonna help you, but not here and not in this room. And I'm gonna be going now. And Katie's like begging him not to leave, and he's like, nah, I'm gone.
It's so funny because like when he first got there, he was just like, oh yeah, as long as you don't use a Ouija board, you'll be chilling. You know, it's you got something here, but it hasn't been able to get to you, which is good. You know, so it's all good.
Yeah, and it feeds off negative energy, so just like stay positive.
Yeah, stay positive. Instead, they've been fighting pretty much the entire time. They've used the Ouija board.
All of me-cuh.
Yeah, me-cuh is just constant, like literally, and she does end up like fucking getting so mad at him, where she like reads them for filth, where she's just like, every single thing that you've done has made it worse. You keep thinking that you're helping, but every single thing, every single possible move that you've made has been to make the situation worse than what it was. And I was like, all right,
you're
Katie,
stupid. So are all your ideas. And
he's just like, that's not true. This fucking demon doesn't have sex really nearly as good as I do.
Well, what's crazy too is she had said something. She was like, me-cuh, are you seriously under the impression that the demon stepped into the powder by accident? Like the demon stepped in the powder because it wanted to step into the powder, because it wanted you to find the photo, because it put the photo there. Like, do you not understand that like you are in zero control? Like the demon is in control. Like there's literally nothing that you can do. And me-cuh goes, babe, you know that's not true.
You know that's not true. I can really fist fight this ghost if I really wanted to. Like if I was like,
as long as I can trick it into manifesting physically,
I just need to take my pre-workout first.
Yeah, exactly. No, he is like so dumb and annoying and stupid. Anyway, So yeah, she's like, and then Katie starts to have a meltdown, understandably so. Okay, yeah, and then this is the night where they go to bed, and then she's like, we can hold on for the next couple days until Dr. Avery's gets back. They're just clinging on to that, or at least Katie is. And I'm pretty sure this is the night that like the door slams and then the ghost like lifts the sheets, like lifts her sheet
You
like
see
over
it
her leg.
almost like a billow of
Yeah, like
air,
air,
and
yeah,
then
and
it
it like
flips
goes there and
over,
then it
and you
flips.
just see like grippers, you know.
You see grippers, and then is that the night that he like pulls her down,
For
right?
some
The
reason,
demon?
I feel like that happens the next night.
I think you're right, because I think the night that that happens, he literally just like looks at her
He
toes
literally
and
just
then
did that. No, well, there's something happens where it fast forward like an hour and a half, because I remember we
yeah.
paused it and we noticed if,
Okay, I think that's when she gets pulled
and then
down.
she
I think
might.
like we
Well, no,
originally just get the foot.
no, because I think what we might get at this point is that door slam.
I think it's both, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I guess it doesn't super matter, but like
It doesn't
within the
super
next
matter.
couple nights, it's
It
like we
it goes
get
from foot
door slam.
to her getting dragged out of the bed. Yeah,
Yes. Oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when she gets dragged, that's like the big night. That's the
that's
last
the
night, right?
no, that's
No,
the
no, because she
second to
walks
last night.
downstairs by herself on the night.
On
Yeah,
the night she just gets up and goes
yeah,
downstairs. Yeah, yeah. Well, she
yeah.
stares at him for a while and then goes downstairs.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. So yeah, then the next night, I'm pretty sure this is the night before she gets her foot like he takes her foot and he like drags her out of the bed and then down the hallway, and
Mm-hmm.
she is screaming bloody murder. Another
Really
spectacular
great
performance,
scream. You know,
great scream,
and
awesome.
you were saying that some people talk shit on our acting, and I'm like, sure, maybe there's things that you can nitpick in like the moment to moment scenes, but when it's the
When it counts,
horror, when it counts, she's nailing it. That she's got a
she's
great scream, and
nailing
I
it.
almost guarantee you that's why she was cast in this. Unless she was one of the people that helped make the movie, then maybe that's just why. But
I don't know. Regardless, she had
yeah,
bills to pay.
she had
She
bills.
had
Yeah, she
bills
was
to pay, and
screaming
it's
like
dope.
she felt the horrors of capitalism screaming up on her as she was letting them fucking
Yeah.
screams out.
No, it was awesome, but she's getting dragged down the hallway and you don't totally see what happens because the camera's always set up like on their dresser or something, or I think like next to their dresser, like in front of
Yeah,
their bed. And but me-cuh wakes up to her screaming and he goes and he's like clearly like fighting to pull her like there's
yeah.
something that
It's
is
like
pulling her.
there's like a room at the end of the hallway that she's like in between, and he's like the demon is in the darkness, and he is like
Yeah,
pulling
like
her
grabbing
out
her
from
and
that door.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he does eventually get her out of
out
there.
of there. Yeah.
And then she's like, I am not sleeping in this room.
I think
Like
that's when we get the bite. Was after
yes,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's assumed that that night is when she gets bitten because the next morning she is like also getting like day by day more exhausted. Like you can just see it on her face, and she's like so out of it. And he starts filming her the next day, and she's like, I think like semi trying to nap on the couch. And then he's like, are you okay? And she's like, I don't want to be in this house anymore. I don't care that what's happening.
He's
Oh,
just got the
you being him?
camera. He's just got the camera and
Yeah.
being like, "Show us the cut.
Yeah,
Show us
show
the
us your
cut."
back. And then she does, and it's like she's clearly been bitten and it like hurts to the touch. Like I think he like gently like puts his hand on it and she's like, ow. But
It
he's like,
looked
sorry,
pretty
it
bad,
like look
honestly. Like that
no,
looked
it did
that
look
looked
bad.
pretty good. Like it.
Yeah. And it's like clearly she has been bitten. And then I think this is like when we start to realize that she's been possessed. And then Katie is very adamant about the fact that she does not care because they've been telling her like the whole movie, hey, it doesn't matter if you leave the house. This thing is attached to you. It will do nothing for you to leave the house. Like, so like there's no point. And she's basically like, I don't give a fuck if it doesn't do anything. I don't want to be here anymore. Like I want to leave. I won't stay another night here. And then me-cuh at this point is like agreeing with her. He's
Yeah,
like,
we should.
yeah,
Yeah, we
I
would
don't want
go
to be here
somewhere.
another night
Yeah.
either. We're going to leave. So, and he says that he's like, we won't stay another night. Like we'll leave tonight. And then throughout the day, Katie's just getting like a little bit weirder and weirder. And then the next time we see her, she's like cuddled up in bed and he
No.
started to film her.
He finds her unconscious with the cross. Remember?
Oh yeah,
And
I
it's
forgot
like,
about
yeah,
that.
it's caused a wound. I think
Yeah,
it was that
that's
moment
what
when
it
she
is.
like became fully possessed. It was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because she later on after like the couch thing, he sees her for some reason she's like just sitting like leaning against the wall and there's like in his office, I think is what it is.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
she's holding like a crucifix in her hand and it is like there's like blood like all over like in her hand like the
Mhm.
contact of the cross to her skin has made her bleed.
Yeah.
And then that really freaks Mika out and he's like, we're getting the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
I'm going to
Like I
burn the
can't.
cross, which is a crazy
Yeah,
thing to do.
yeah, yeah. And then he burns the cross like the cross is the
Which,
problem.
to be honest, I think the cross might have been helping because it seemed like it was reacting negatively to her. So it was probably trying to like get
I think
whatever's
he
in
doesn't
her
realize
out.
at this point that Katie is like
Gone.
possessed. Like I think
Yeah,
he,
yeah,
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 I don't
yeah.
think he's realized that. So he's like, but anyway, so he's like, we're leaving. So he, the next time that we see her, he is recording her and she's like cuddled up in bed and he's like, hey, Katie, I've got the car packed up. Like, let's leave. And she's like, no, I don't think I will. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, you've been saying like all day that you. She's like, no, I think it would be best if we stayed here. Like, just trust me. And he eventually ends up like giving in. And then she does this weird thing where she's like, I think we'll be okay now. And it does do like a little bit of a double voice that I typically don't like, but it wasn't too crazy, so I didn't mind it. And then she does this weird, like creepy smile, like
I
where
think
she like
that
closes.
I genuinely think, and like I'm with you, but like that it wasn't that bad. But I think if she didn't say anything and we just saw the shift in her face after he walked
I
away,
agree.
I think that would have been a little bit more effective. Where it's just like that
Or
because the
even if she
voice,
had just said it without the voice effect, like I was okay with the line, but it
yeah,
just more so like it always is gonna be better for me if there's not
yeah,
some sort of like clear like robotic like under sounds. Like
it
I don't
didn't
know.
take me out, but you could have did it better. That's
I
yeah,
agree. I agree. So it's not my favorite, but she does do this really creepy like she like smiles and
yeah,
closes her eyes like she's like
like
feeling at
she's just
peace or whatever,
chilling.
like she's
Yeah,
like happy. Yeah, and it's like real weird and just like we haven't seen her smile in like weeks at this point.
yeah.
So or however long it's
I
been, days.
I will say I'm surprised. I mean, like maybe it's because of shooting constraints and like we know how low budget this movie was, but it did feel like that there could have been one more day of escalations. But like the fact that like it like immediately cuts to the final night. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
her waking up in the middle of the night and then everything goes down. So it is
Yeah.
a little
I mean, it
abrupt.
kind
It
of makes
felt.
sense though because I mean,
No, it
when
makes
she does it,
sense.
yeah, no, but it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, she basically they go to bed. He like agrees to stay, and they're sleeping, and then I'm pretty sure she gets out of bed and she stares at him again. Right? She like goes to his side of the bed
Yeah,
and
this
stares at
time
him
she
for a
gets up
couple
and goes to
hours.
his side of bed, and then it fast forward for a minute, and then she goes
She does that
downstairs.
for a few hours. Yeah, she goes downstairs and then it all happens really slowly and I really liked the way they filmed it and I really liked the pacing because it gave
Hmm.
you like just enough time to feel very like on edge but not like so much like silence that it felt like okay, what are we doing? But she like very slowly walks down the stairs. You're hearing like the heavy weight of the footsteps. She like sounds like how the ghost did like a few nights prior when it's stomping up the stairs. It's like the same weight to it kind of. And then she goes downstairs and suddenly you hear in her voice her be like scream for Mika. Like she like this has happened before like whenever something awful happens it's like the same
Yeah.
scream that she always does where she's like
Hmm.
Mika. And then Mika jumps up and he's like holy shit and he runs downstairs to meet her and he's like oh my god, and then she's doing this like crazy scream. It was so
I
good.
like it. I think they do a little bit of the double voice in the scream, but it's because it doesn't sound like a demon voice mixed with her voice. It works. It
I
just
didn't even
seems like
notice, and I appreciate that if it's that
I
subtle.
think
I don't mind.
because it just feels like there's more than one person downstairs, which in and of itself is kind of scary. It's like what is
It
happening
is
down
very
there
scary.
because you're like
No, it's
no,
all
we
the
don't
noises
know what is
downstairs were
happening.
great.
Yeah,
It's so chaotic. Like you have
yeah.
no clue like what's
Exactly.
going on.
It's like hell on earth has opened up down there, and you don't see
Because the
anything of it.
scream, the noise, if you
So good.
snippet of her scream, it's like legit gave
Yeah,
us both
I think I
goosebumps.
might
We were like,
do that. Yeah.
yeah, no, it was great. And so we hear that, and then you hear me-cuh like, "What's wrong?" La, 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 but then his voice cuts out like
Yeah.
pretty quickly
Well,
after he gets downstairs.
he calls her like it's just like is
He
it
says like he's
Bubba?
it's like he's
Like
yeah, it's like something
it
like
sounds like
that.
he
It
said
sounds
like a
like
nickname for her that he hasn't used at
he
all in
usually
this
calls her
movie.
like baby, but it's like so I wonder if it was like him trying to say baby, but he was like flustered. I don't really
Yeah.
know.
And then like he says like what the fuck, and then he disappears, and then everything stops.
Yeah. His voice like abruptly cuts out
Yeah,
and then like the chaos just stops.
yeah.
And then you hear like the slow, like but heavy footsteps coming up the
That we've
staircase
heard
again.
throughout the rest of the
That we've
movie that is
heard.
signifying the demon's footsteps. Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, Mika's body gets thrown into the room and like must be like against the tripod because then the camera
Yeah,
falls
we have
on its
seen the
side.
tripod in that position throughout the whole movie, so I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, which genuinely I remembered that happened, and you can ask Josh that like
She
jump scared
jumped.
the fuck out
She
of
actually
me.
screamed, which was funny. Like I was just like,
It's
damn. Like
weird.
it like
It's
affected me,
great.
but it wasn't. Anyway, yeah. And like it just affected me, but like you actually screamed, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, it got me. I like and I literally gonna happen. I don't know why it got me so bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
So she like throws Mika, and then she goes over and she's like gets on her hands and knees, and she's like it's like very like animal like it's almost like an animal that's like sniffing him or something like weird like that. And then she looks at the camera all creepy. And then this is the part that I didn't like, which, this is me being nitpicky, but she does have this like weird, they try to do this like weird effect with her mouth where it's like kind of looks like there's like sharp teeth or something instead of her teeth. I don't know.
Yeah,
And they
it's
do
like
like this like slightly weird sound effect where she's like, it's not her. Like, I don't know. I don't
it's
love
like I've
it.
seen possession makeup so much better than what happens in that split second. And it's like if this is
Yeah.
gonna be the last seconds of your movie, you gotta nail it. And I don't think they really
Yeah, and I
do.
know they didn't have like much. I would have rather them effects than do
Yeah.
something like that.
But
Like I would almost
what we do see, we'll talk about in a second here. They have two alternate cuts, which I think are
yeah,
better than what we end up with. Um,
in some ways I
we
agree,
can
in some
talk. We
ways
can
I
talk.
don't.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I'm kind of
Yeah.
glad you disagree with me. That we can have conversations. But yeah, like it's just I don't know. I would almost rather that she had nothing going on with her face.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe not even lunge at the camera. Maybe just have it cut like with her leaning over his body. She doesn't need to do the stupid come at the camera thing. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
she.
so
It's
which
just
to give it credit, I think it feels extremely overdone. However, I do
because
think
it's
that this is like an older movie, and I think a lot of movies have way overdone it
yeah
post. So maybe I would feel differently had I not
at the
seen
time.
so
I
many
mean,
of that. But it's
obviously,
like
it made
there's
a
so much.
bajillion dollars like when it came out. Like this was a huge movie. Um,
Yeah, their return on like for their finances like that had
let
to
me
have
see.
felt
Let me
really.
see exactly how much they made.
But yeah, I don't. That wasn't my favorite, but that is me being nitpicky. It's not like the worst thing ever. But yeah, and then the movie ends, and then it's basically mentions that like they found Mika's body, and Katie was nowhere to be found.
they they have a pretty insane. Um, they said the budget was between 15,000 and 200,000. Okay, never mind. This makes sense. The production was 15,000. Post production was 200. So I guess when it got picked up, and like
Gotcha.
they got some more money to put into like the effects and stuff like that, is where a lot of the money came from. But shooting it was 15,000, which that makes sense.
Gotcha. How
Um,
much did they end up making?
they ended up making $194 million. So that's a
Pretty
lot of.
good.
That's pretty fucking good. That's
Pretty
really fucking
fucking
good.
good.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I'd
um,
take it.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, so with the ending
Wait,
with
hold
that.
on. Sorry, real fast. Before we get into alternate endings, I do want to go with this girl, if
Oh, go ahead,
possible.
absolutely.
I'm like, stop it, and you're like, no.
Oh, like, but actually, I know better, and I can fight this ghost, and I have a way bigger penis than this ghost. But anyway, so
All
there's
right,
some alternate endings here,
which we did
um,
watch.
which we did watch afterwards, because both of us had a weird feeling about that ending, and we were like, yeah, let's check out the alternate endings, because I had brought it up, because I remembered was considered the alternate ending, when it came out on DVD. So which one do you want to talk about first? I would say the alternate first,
I
because
agree.
that's
Yeah, I
like
think
the
alternate
least
and original.
changes. Um, so there is the alternate ending, which we get pretty much the same
They
thing
all
up
do the
to.
same. Yeah,
Yeah, like everything is the same with like Katie doing the staring at me-cuh and then going downstairs and then screaming, and me-cuh runs downstairs. In this
yeah, that happens
one,
in every ending.
um, the only exception is that with these two other ones, me-cuh doesn't get thrown at the camera. Um, Katie in the alternate ending comes up covered in blood, and then just kind of like closes the door behind her, walks up to the camera, smiles, like nothing's wrong with her face. She just smiles, and then just cuts her throat with a kitchen knife.
Right.
Falls. End. What do you think of that one?
Um, the more that I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure the first time I ever watched it was with the alternate ending.
Really?
Because yes, and then when I watched it again later, I watched the one where me-cuh is thrown.
I mean, I'm
Um
sure there's probably releases of that had that cut in there, like one of the
there had to
DVDs.
have been
Yeah.
because like I remember like distinctly there like being the like cutthroat thing. Um so I don't mind it. I think I like the fact that me-cuh isn't in the shot. In both that and the original ending, which we'll get into in a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
I like that me-cuh's not in the shot because there's kind of like a mystery of like we just heard this horrible sound. Like what happened to him, you
Yeah.
know? And I don't mind that she kills herself. I think it feels like maybe a little corny
I don't
to,
know.
you know.
I don't know if it's corny for me, but it definitely feels anticlimactic.
I Yeah, maybe that's it. It's like just kind of feels like a little bit like, oh, okay.
Like, I think if you're gonna do that, I think it should be a little more graphic. You know, like what if she just kept like just stabbing repeatedly in the same spot or something like
That would
that?
be fucked.
Yeah, like
They
really
probably didn't have the
gruesome.
budget to make that happen.
I mean, they got 200,000 in post production. You can do one scene where blood's squirting out of her neck. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
but
enough.
like
Yeah.
but like I think that might have been like more graphic, where if how violent it would be, then you can kind of infer of how badly she like destroyed me-cuh downstairs, um
me-cuh.
but I kind me-cuh
It's
me-cuh
spelled Micah, but they say it me-cuh.
okay, me-cuh um downstairs, and then I would definitely say I might prefer the theatrical ending to that one. But I do really like what is considered the original ending. There's some things I would have changed about it, but I think I kind of like that more than how it
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
So with the original ending, you get pretty much the same stuff with the alternate ending, where he doesn't get thrown at the camera. She comes into the room covered in blood, but instead just kind of sits in the fetal position next to the bed, and
Just
it
like rocking back and forth.
it just goes through time really fast. She's there for like 24 hours, rocking
Just
back and
rocking
forth.
back and forth. And you see the blood like all over her shirt too.
Yeah. And you have people trying to call the house, leaving a message. I think it might have been the exorcist leaves a call.
He does, and then the friend leaves a message.
Yeah, and then the friend shows up to the house, which you can hear by her opening the door and the light flick on.
Yeah.
And then she discovers
me-cuh.
me-cuh's. I don't think I had a problem with this throughout the whole fucking podcast until this last little section. me-cuh's body, presumably, and she starts screaming, leaves the house, and then we get fast forward a
And
little
you
bit
hear, I really
more.
like the noise in that scene too, because you
She
just hear
does a
like
good
a
job
lot of
too.
chaos. There's screaming, and she's also like, there's like a lot of like, it sounds like stomping and stuff being like moved around, maybe like it's kind of sounding like she's like falling all over the place,
Yeah,
maybe
because
like
she
freaking out.
which goes to show
The
you
good part
how
is you can
bad
only
he got cut
imagine.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
like you
really
really can
fuels
only
that.
imagine what happens, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
there's just so, and she's there for like a minute kind of, and you're just hearing like all this chaos happening, and you're like,
Yes.
what did she find? Like,
Yeah.
how is she react? So that really adds, I feel like.
I do like that part. I think the part where it kind of falls apart is this next part. Is when we get the cops come in and
Yeah,
start searching the
I
house,
think it's implied that the friend calls the cops and
which
they
makes
show
sense,
up.
obviously. Like, I find a
Yeah,
dead body, I'm calling the cops,
right.
Um they come up the stairs like weapons drawn. They're like, we have our weapons drawn, just to let you know, our guns are pointed right at you. And they come up the stairs and she's still rocking there. And when they find her,
Oh, and
like,
she's still holding a knife, but you
she's
don't know
still,
that until like right now.
yeah, until she starts to get up, like when they see her, and she starts to like be like, Micah, me-cuh, fuck, me-cuh. me-cuh.
Yeah, she like, it's like she was in a trance that whole time where she was rocking back and forth, and then suddenly she's like, me-cuh, me-cuh.
And then she starts to like walk towards them with the knife in her hand, and like, them being cops, they just fucking start unloading on her. And
Yeah,
you just kind of see her body collapse, like kind of off screen, where you can like see her feet in the doorway, but like you don't see her body. And then it ends there. Um, like there's a lot that scene does that I think is better, and I don't even hate that she gets shot by cops. What I
realistic.
hate, yeah, it's like I just feel like they could have hit that more, and like the way she like is like she's like, me-cuh, and like kind of like waddles at them like a penguin, and like they don't even seem like they're like like backing away quick enough
Yeah, they
or
didn't do a very
anything.
good
There's
job at,
no
like, their acting was
urgency with the cops, where they're like they like as soon as they seen a knife, they should have been like, he's like, drop the knife, and then she like doesn't, and then they blast her. But instead it's just kind of like they're like, oh, she has a knife, and boom 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 boom.
right. Which they did say, like, when she first, they were like, she has a weapon, drop the weapon, ma'am, and then she keeps coming towards them, and
Yeah,
then
I
it is very fast, and it is very like, it felt like their energy was a little too calm, especially like after the fact, when they're still, because they're still like, they're radioing to be like,
I would
oh,
have
someone is
almost
down, la 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 la, and they just seem like too calm.
liked them reacting to the dead body too. Where like if even the cops are like, Jesus fucking Christ, you know what I mean? Like when they
Right.
see whatever happened to me-cuh. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like none of these endings really hit the way
Yeah,
I'd want them
I
to.
agree. I think I've been thinking about it, and I think I like the screaming for me-cuh thing. I like him going downstairs. Like I feel like that all felt good to me. And I
It's the
think I
stuff
would
that
have
comes
preferred the
after that.
original ending, like up until the friend. But then after that, like I don't love it. And I think maybe what we're looking for is some sort of closure in regards to like this has been building and building and building since she was 8 years old. You know what I mean? So this is like this demon, she's had like a lot of history with it, and it's like clearly been waiting to like kill her or like, the people around her or whatever for a really long time. I think I maybe would have wanted some sort of like callback to her being a kid or like the history that they had or something like that.
I
And I
remember
don't
this is
know
like
exactly how you do it.
budget. They just I don't think
I know,
yeah.
but I mean I still think they could. I don't mean like to show her being a kid. I just mean like something to kind of indicate like a full circle a little bit. Like if,
Yeah.
as opposed to it just being some random like I don't know, it kind of just felt like not as personal, which I know sounds kind of silly, but it's like this is a demon that's been stalking her forever. You know what I mean? Like so it just
Well,
feels like it felt like the ending felt like a little rushed. Like it didn't feel like it was like savored enough really.
I
And it felt
think
like
I think that's why they went with what the ending they went with is because it doesn't make sense for this demon to do all this just to have her die.
right.
You know what I mean? At least in the original, like in the theatrical ending, she's alive and he still obviously possessed her. So whatever he's planning on doing, he can still do with her. You know? So like
Right.
I think that's why they kind of
And
went
I
with
and I
it.
and I like
Plus,
that they kill Micah too, or Mika. See, you have me doing it now. Um, I like that they kill Mika too because it's like, he's been like interfering, in
yeah,
like this thing that they've had going for however long, and he's been taunting it and whatever. So I like that. I don't know. I don't disagree with Katie not dying. Like I'm cool with that. I think it's just like something about her just leaning over the camera. It just feels very anticlimactic. Like I think I
yeah.
just wanted something more. And I really don't know what that would be, but I just felt like I was
I
lacking
I
something
think
a
it's
little.
like the reason why I'm like defensive of them doing anything like making a circle around is that I know that they do with the sequels. You know,
Yeah.
um, like the first three
Well
movies are all
then
about
in
her
that
childhood.
case, in that case,
Um,
then maybe just like you said, it could have been, I guess, like a little more. I don't know.
Satisfying.
I kind of like, yeah. They're just. I think I would have liked the idea of Mika's body staying downstairs because even though it was a really good jump scare to have it thrown, and I don't feel like it was corny or anything, I feel like there's something about not knowing what the state of him is like is just very creepy to
I
me.
think. All right, this is what I would do. This is my ending based off what they have already shot. All right. Everything up till like the changes in the endings. Actually, give me one second. God damn it, dog.
Dog.
Hair going crazy. All right, this is what my perfect ending would be. You get everything up till where she comes back up the stairs. No body's thrown. Um, she comes up the stairs, sits there, until she gets up and like goes back downstairs. We don't know where she goes downstairs. We just know she goes downstairs. But it's during the daytime. We get the calls. Friend shows up. Does the screaming thing. then cut.
Okay.
We don't know if the friend
So you
is
just
getting got. We don't know if it's
okay.
just because she saw the body. It leaves you with lingering questions, and we don't see the goofy shit with Katie at the end.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the
I'd be
main
cool with
issue
that.
is all the stuff with Katie at the very end is all kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I think us being left with where did she go? Did she kill her friend?
What happened to her? Is she
What
still
happened to
possessed?
Micah? Yeah, it leaves
Yeah.
you lingering. It's very similar to, like, you know, famously the ending of Halloween, where he gets shot out the window and then they look out and he's gone, and it just ends there. You know, like
Right.
it leaves you with that eerie feeling of where did she go, like, which we know where she went now. But
I don't.
you've definitely never seen 2 then.
If
Yeah.
I do, I remember nothing about it.
We should do the Paranormal Activity movies.
We might just.
Honestly, like, I think because,
This
like,
might be our new thing.
I would be 100% down because I've been meaning to get to some of them later ones, but I also
Yeah.
wanted to rewatch the earlier ones. So
I need to look up what that one movie was.
there. Let me wait. Hold on. Let's end the podcast real quick.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
probably a good idea.
Thank you guys for joining us on the Not on the Pod podcast. I've been your host Josh, and this is my co-host Abigail. Say goodbye, Abigail.
Goodbye, Abigail.
And don't talk over me this time. So we're gonna end the pod here. Please subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or our YouTube channel, which you would be watching right now. Also, recommend us to your friends who like horror movies. And if you have any suggestions,
recommend us to your friends that don't like horror movies. We're just great. We're palatable.
Yeah, if you like mediocre white dudes and disaster bisexuals, we're here for you. We got your shit covered.
You're never gonna let that go.
What?
Disaster bisexual. Never.
But we got the whole range of people covered for you. So
And man, we're about to get into the whole Paranormal Activity series, and who does.
Yeah, we're about to start a goddamn season. This is basically going to be a season of podcast episodes that you're going to miss out on if you don't subscribe and get notified.
And if you don't subscribe, how are you going to know when we make our movie and where to buy tickets? You're not. And you're depriving yourself if you think about it.
Yeah, and
then someone that's watching to this point is like, God damn, I subscribe. God damn.
and also follow Abigail on Twitch, where she will do a stream every 2 months, and follow me on Twitch too, where I will do a stream every 6 months.
Yeah.
But anyway,
nothing is not consistent.
We're consistently non-consistent. That's what we are.
That's what matters.
But anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining us, and see y'all later.